A very warm welcome to the honorable dignitaries, participants, and everybody with us. We will be beginning this session with an invocation song. And that was Megha Bhatt, 9th semester student, BMS School of Architecture. A very warm welcome to everybody present here, and especially our the honorable dignitaries with us. President, Council of Architecture, Architect Habib Khan. Chairman, Indian Institute of Architects, Karnataka Chapter, Architect Mohan BR. Director, BMS School of Architecture, Dr. Shaila Bantanur. All the IIA members, faculties from various colleges, practicing architect students, and my dear colleagues. Welcome to the first session of the Professional Development Program. And now I would like to request Professor Shrikant Gabale to kindly introduce Architect Habib Khan, President, Council of Architecture.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining this online inaugural session of Professional Development Program, jointly organized by BMS School of Architecture, Yelahanka and Karnataka Chapter. Thank you, Architect Habib, for accepting the invitation for delivering inaugural address. I am Professor Shrikant Gabale from BMS School of Architecture, Yelahanka. As we all know that digital transformation is happening in every field of our lives, construction industry is no exception to that. Although construction industry is considered to be slow in digital advancements and changes, yet there have been many innovations in construction related aspects during the last decade, and the impact of digital transformation is inevitable. The new digitally driven technologies have a great effect on how buildings get designed and constructed. Hence, this program has been conceived and organized to bring a greater focus on the emerging technological trends so that we can position ourselves well in time and embrace the technologies adequately. I'm sure architect Habib Khan will speak up his mind on the theme in the capacity of President of Council of Architecture. Before he delivers his keynote address, I will briefly introduce him to the participants. Architect Habib Khan graduated in architecture from VNIT, that is Vishwesvaraya National Institute of Technology, Nagpur, formerly known as VRC. He went to USA to take up masters in architectural design from University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. After master's degree, he worked in Philadelphia, coordinating major retail design projects for retail giants across the world. Returning to India in the year 1990, he started his own private practice, and architecture to him is a passion, a total commitment, and something to enjoy and indulge in. He is fiercely committed to architecture, being contextual and relevant. And he believes that architecture shall be responsive to traditions, climate, context, and be environmentally, ecologically responsible. His architectural practice, Smita and Habib Khan Architects, mostly deals with campus designs, institutions, and wildlife resorts. He has worked with major hospitality groups like Taj, Citrus, Maua, and Celebrations, with few major campuses in central India. He was awarded the JII Best Interior Design Award by the I in year 1998 and IAAF Young Architects Award in year 2000. He was also awarded the Orange City Achievement Award in 2009 and Maharashtra State Level Excellence in Architecture and Education Award by I Maharashtra Chapter in year 2011. Recently, he and Smita were awarded the prestigious Hindbao Award for large-scale promotion of traditional and vernacular architecture in the world for their Jaydev Engineering College campus project in the category of new buildings. Architect Habib has been invited to many national and international conferences as keynote speaker. Some of the few are INETCON 2009, INETCON 2012, NetCon at Goa 2008, Kolhapur in year 2014, and Indore in 2015. He was also invited for Chittale Endowment Lecture by Anna University Chennai and Triple IIT Design Yatra in about 12 cities. He was also invited to speak at international conferences of IIPS Glasgow 2012, Degrowth 2012 Venice, and Degrowth 2016 at Budapest. Architect Habib Khan is also involved in teaching since the beginning of his career. He has been taking guest lectures and conducting design studios in architecture colleges all over the country, apart from design juries and examinations. He is currently the director at Priyadarshini Institute of Architecture and Design Studies, Nagpur, and Lokmanya Tilak Institute of Architecture and Design Studies, Mumbai. His design teaching revolves around sensitizing students towards their own heritage and roots, context, and climate within the framework of being contemporary. Habib has actively been working with the government of Maharashtra on few policy framing guidelines. He has also been nominated by the government of Maharashtra on the Council of Architecture. He is currently the president of Council of Architecture. Habib is an avid painter and has exhibited his paintings on Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Kabir. He also dabbles in poetry and has written songs for Triple IIT NatCon Indore, Design Yatra, and IIA Centenary Anthem, and the theme song for Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign. With this, once again, I welcome all the dignitaries and participants And I request Architect Habib Khan, President, Council of Architecture, to deliver his address. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Dr. Shaila, Director, BMS College of Architecture, Professor Shrikant Gabale, all the organizers, faculty, participants, and Architect Mohan B.R., Chairman I, Karnataka Chapter, a warm welcome and greetings from the Council of Architecture. All the members of my fraternity, members of the IIA, students, and all delegates and participants of this PDP on emerging technologies. It's very heartening to note that your college is thinking about the future and what the roadmap of the future would be. In fact, yesterday I was attending another inaugural session on the architectural softwares by Manet Gopal. It was a very interesting discussion where we are trying to sensitize students about what the future roadmap of architectural design and construction learning would be. And I'm very happy to note that BMS is now organizing this PDP on emerging technologies in association with the professionals and practicing architects as well, with the involvement of the IIA Karnataka chapter. And this is a trend which I think should be encouraged across the country, wherein the academia and the professionals come together on the same platform in the larger interest of what the future of architecture should be in our country. To me, the emerging technologies or already emerged technologies is a vast and in-depth, bottomless pit kind of thing, wherein there is no end to what innovation and development can happen. And we're all seeing, we are from a generation where the internet and the Internet of Things started, and the communication through internet and emails started, and the onslaught that has happened in the last 20 years has been phenomenal. I think after the advent of Industrial Revolution, this technological innovation and that has happened and is one of the landmark of this century, which has totally changed the way we interact with each other, the way we work, the way we talk, the way we behave, and so on and on. And if you see, we are interacting through a virtual platform, which we never thought that would happen 2 years ago. The pandemic and the lockdowns, the bane of humanity that happened 2 years ago, has been converted into a boon by all of us. And not only at the council, but by all of us and our fraternity and across professions as well, wherein it is possible to reach to a wider and a larger audience through a virtual platform. It would not have been possible for me to probably address 70 odd seminars and webinars in last 6 months. Physically, it was just impossible. But now we are able to reach out to each other, hold hands, disperse knowledge, dissipate information to be converted into knowledge and subsequently wisdom. And this is possible through this virtual reality and virtual platform that we are all trying to use it as a boon for our profession. To me, there are a few components. There was a seminar I was addressing with the AICTE chairman over technologies that are going to be the future of architectural and engineering education. And almost all of us were on the same platform, and I'm sure you all are going to touch those various components of the emerging technologies. To me, the artificial intelligence is already changing the way we are designing and the way we are planning, and it will have a major role to play in the future, wherein artificial intelligence will creep into our lives, and the artificial intelligence someday will probably overtake mankind and the human intelligence. So we have to be a little careful as to how judiciously we can use the artificial intelligence. The matrix of artificial intelligence is mind-boggling. And if you see collective human minds together can create a superhuman intelligence, which will be a robot or XYZ, whatever the product is of the artificial intelligence. But that's going to change the way we plan, the way we learn, and the way we teach. And recently, if you would notice, cloud-based technologies and cloud is playing a major role. To us, cloud used to be something which we all were happy about when monsoons came. But now the term cloud has a different connotation, and everything is on the cloud. And this cloud is going to not only bring rains into the lives of the fraternity, architectural fraternity, but collaborative experiences through the cloud is the future of what will happen. I can never imagine in my practice, in my office, wherein my consultant, MEP consultant is sitting in Chennai, or my HVAC consultant is sitting in Guwahati, and I'm sitting in Nagpur and working a project in Srinagar. And that is possible through cloud collaboration. And that happens so effortlessly and seamlessly that you don't miss the presence of in-person presence of these various consultants that are happening. And we are working simultaneously on projects, discussion on drawings, correction on drawings, and instruction on sites to the client, to the contractors. Everything is happening through the cloud and collaborative processes of software. I'm sure all of you know that even if you have, I use the Apple platform. So if you have an Apple software and you're working on a Word document, and you can collaborate in live, in reality, through the cloud-based collaborative processes. And this is going to change the way engagement of architectural services will happen, procurement of architectural services will happen, and this will also change the way that we all will work in the future. We all know about virtual realities, augmented reality, and the virtual experience that a client demands to go through before the building is built, which makes it more challenging for the architect and the designer to design and think as to how the spaces would be, what would be the experience, what would be the spatial experience that will happen through virtual reality. And it's very heartening to note that, last semester we had about 5 or 6 thesis students who presented their designs through VR. And it is slowly creeping in, and I hope that it becomes more and more affordable for everyone to understand. But imagine the process wherein you have designed a building, you have designed a project, and you show a 3D, a walkthrough, or a 3D, and static views or concepts or whatever. The job was still easier for the architect or the designer. Then came the walkthroughs and the 3Ds and on various softwares, and then the job of the architect started becoming more and more difficult. And when the walkthroughs came in, it became a little more difficult because more difficult, I would say, rather more precise, because when you have a walkthrough, you have to design each and every aspect of the building which is seen. Now, virtual reality is making it more complex and complicated and challenging for the practicing architect. And I'm sure the institutes will rise up to that occasion, wherein you are able to teach aspiring architect the details of the spaces and the details of the vistas and the walkthroughs and the experience that you can have before a building is built. And the next biggest, personally to me, is the 3D printing. It's going to revolutionize not only construction industry but architectural design as well. Now, imagine I was attending a conference on 3D printing, which was organized by some institute in England and with some Chinese collaboration. And they were thinking of, 3D printing a space station. And, that is something which actually stirred in me the phenomenal, this is last year's conference that I'm talking about, but it stirred in me a phenomenal kind of, thought process in me, which I realized that it's going to be game changer for the construction industry. And we have to see that, you have to just send your drawings and the printer is there, nothing, the whole thing is 3D printed. The materials that are going into 3D printing are increasing by the day, becoming more and more refined and sophisticated. And I'm sure We have all seen, I think, a 3D printed house recently, a couple of projects printed recently. And I'm sure as time passes by, it will become more and more advanced, more and more refined, more and more sophisticated. And that would mean total revolution after the machines came into our lives in the industrial revolution. And we have to understand the context in which all this will come in. What about our labor? What about our unskilled labor? What about employment in our country, and so on and on? This is a major issue that we need to tackle. I mean, it's all right to get swept away by these technologies and the advent and advancement of technology, but how it is going to be linked to our context is to be seen. We all know IoT, Internet of Things. We all know BIM. BIM is already there to stay, and it is changing the way we are maintaining buildings, the way we are designing buildings, the way we are looking at it, looking at the working of a project. The BIM is already changed. I'm sure you're all going to look into this at these aspects, and of course the digitization that has happened. And like I was saying, this has to be looked into a sustainable point of view. Sustainable is not a word wherein you only talk of materials, we only talk of concepts, or only talk of green buildings, environment-friendly buildings. But sustainability is a word which is a wider connotation, wherein when all these emerging technologies come, we have to understand and analyze at what cost they are coming at. What cost to our country, what cost to our people, what cost to our economy. I'm not saying we should not embrace them, but we have to embrace them in a way that we do not succumb to external economic pressures, wherein we feel that use of a particular software or technology becomes evident and inevitable. We have to understand how it is suited to our context and what it does to our economy. One example, which may be controversial, but I don't hesitate in saying so, is the concept of the smart cities. You know, it was dumped on our country and we embraced it wholeheartedly without thinking and without understanding what a smart city means. It was an alien concept superimposed on our fabric, wherein we thought that we will become smart if our cities are smart, while it was the other way around. Citizens, unless they are smart, cities cannot become smart. And it was an avenue of Western or Northeastern countries, wherein their software companies, their hardware companies had no market. And they came up with this smart strategy of selling their unsold or unutilized software in their countries, and they dumped it on countries like Brazil and India, and we embraced it. Anyway, that's a different matter to discuss. But this is one example which we should understand from as to how we should utilize the onslaught of the technologies that are going to emerge, and how we can indigenously develop them so that the brain drain doesn't happen, so that the economic drain doesn't happen, and our country gets benefited directly and at the grassroots levels. We need to also think of, I mean, have you ever thought of this fact and the aspect that the rural sector in our country was up till now, before the advent of internet, isolated and cocooned in their own world. Now we feel very happy about it that every village has an internet connection, has internet accessibility, and is in touch with the latest development that is happening in the world. But the pitfall of it, the other side of this is that that particular person who is in a rural sector is also aware of the disparity that is there in his life and the life in a city or in an urban city or in an advanced nation, advanced country. The disparity and the gap that exists in our country, I'm talking specifically to our country, the rural sector in our country, a person from a village, a farmer from a village, a young man, aspiring to do good and well in life, has this huge mental roadblock and is having psychological impact of what he is, where he is, and what the world is. So this gap needs to be understood by us. I mean, you will ask me as to why am I discussing this? with relation to emerging technologies, but this has a direct impact on the populace of our country. On the 60 to 70% population is still rural, and we as architects need to reach out to this sector where we have a social responsibility as architects. Architects are very elitist in their profession, and we do not think of development of other sectors, the agro-produce sector, the agricultural sector, on which our economy is based on, and our contribution in such sectors is very, very minimal, almost nil. And it is up to the institutions to understand the technologies and the advent of what can be done through these technologies and through the softwares and through the hardware that we have access to in uplifting and bridging the gap between the urban sector and the rural sector. And that will be a real service in the development of our nation if we are able to do that. And one thing which I always heard and also feel, that these softwares, technologies, and everything that is available to us these days has a limitation. And ultimately, it is the brainchild of a human mind. And what are those limitations have to be understood by us all. And we have to understand that it cannot overpower the human mind. The moment it does, we all will be doomed. So how does this affect architectural education, architectural practice, and profession? Is what we have to really introspect. And I'm sure you will do a session. I'm not sure of what your sessions are, but I'm sure you will do an introspection at the end and understand, apart from the learning that happens, what is VR, what is AR, what is BIM, but what are its applications and what are its connotations and implications in the long run for our profession is what is to be understood and discussed as well. And I'm sure you will do that. And one thing I implore my younger members of the fraternity and students to, customize these technologies to architectural needs. I still feel that when I take a jury, thesis jury or design jury on a virtual platform, I mean, it goes smooth and smoothly without any flaws. But I feel there are certain limitations which only an architect can understand and remove, or develop a platform which will probably be more conducive to architectural learning and understanding, and so on and on. So that's one customization. And I was talking about it yesterday. We had done a collaboration with the Australian University, with our institute long ago, maybe about 5 to 7 years ago. And they had very interesting means of teaching construction. I'll give you an example of construction. They had developed a game called Game of Construction, and they were teaching building construction through that game, where you have 2 or 3 or 10, 30, 40 players, and you have a gun in your hand, and you're running around, and you're supposed to build a building with that gun, and that gun is a concrete pumping machine, wherein you have to design your own mix, you design your own sand, cement, water ratio, and it depends on what is the pressure of the gun that you're using to pump the concrete in, and how fast it settles, and how fast it, and things like that. And it was a very interesting game, and you have to ensure that your column stands, the footing is there. And the students were so engrossed with the whole idea of learning construction through a game. You have to give your reinforcement, and you have to test that the reinforcement doesn't sag, doesn't buckle, and things like that. I mean, it was all through a game. The entire process was through a game. And I was triggered in thinking, how do we teach through a game, which is actually, an online game, or these gaming platforms are the biggest, I won't say money earners, but biggest subscribed platforms by the younger generation, who are our market, so to say, or our field wherein they come in from. So all that younger generation are so comfortable with it, but we are not, as teachers and as academicians and administrators of academics. We have to understand that the involvement of our pedagogical methods and methodology of teaching has to change, has to live up to the expectation of that generation whom we are teaching actually. And this session lasted for about 7 hours without break in between. And so engrossed students I've never seen in my 35 years of teaching and practice. And the students were zapped. And I wondered if we are able to develop software like this, develop a technology in reality where they play a game and then learn as well, which they are comfortable with. Probably will change the understanding of architecture and architecture learning, and will also change. So I also always implore, without going into details, I always implore my faculty, my teachers, and my younger generation students to think on these lines and develop such softwares and develop such mechanics and use the technologies available to them to make it more interesting, more acceptable, and probably the quality of education will improve. We traditionally think that quality of education will improve if we are making them aware of various technologies, various softwares, if we tell them how to teach. But we have to keep in mind the major stakeholder, which is the student, which belongs to a generation which is not ours. And we have to understand the aspirations. And this is where the administrators of academics will probably understand and in the future make a pedagogical approach, have a pedagogical approach will be more conducive to the generation that we're teaching. Anyways, this is a long topic, but thank you for inviting me here. And I'm really, really happy that you are discussing this and you started discussing this. And one last thing, I request all such organizers, institutes, and associations to kindly share your proceedings and the discussions that you had with the council, and we will ensure that it reaches out to each and every corner of the country, to each and every institution, because dissipation of information is important. How much you absorb and make it into knowledge is your own lookout, and whether that knowledge is converted to wisdom or not is each individual's. But we can create a platform where we can facilitate dispersal of this information to each and every stakeholder. We are coming up with the council with a portal called Samarthya, which means enabling. And it's a digital platform, digital portal, wherein we are going to have archives and resources of all such webinars that are coming to us so that it is easily accessible. We are digitizing libraries, connecting libraries, because we feel that each and every institution has to rise up to a certain level, then only the quality of education will suffer. And technology is helping us do that, wherein we hold hands of each and every. I mean, there are institutes which have phenomenal content of libraries, which is accessible to their students. We want that it should be open and accessible to each and every student, because that's something that is, a birthright of a student, to get information, get as much information as possible from all sources. So we are trying to digitize all the libraries and connect all the institutions through this portal. And I hope we should be able to do it soon so that all of us get benefited out of it. We are also, small little things like we are subscribing to a anti-plagiarism software wherein you can run your designs, you can run your papers and thesis through that software free of cost. The council will facilitate that, and so on and on. We're doing a lot of things which we'll come to know very shortly. But this is what technology is helping us do. This is what a virtual platform is helping us do. And I need your cooperation and support in the endeavors that we all are doing. And I wish you all the best. And I wish all the delegates the best. And I'm sure you'll enjoy the coming couple of days and will get enriched from the information that will be shared by the experts and the resource persons. Thank you so much, BMS, for inviting me, and the IIA Karnataka chapter. Mohanji, thank you so much for being with us and giving me the honor to share my thoughts with you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Habib sir, for your insightful words. And the questions that you put up has given, I think, all of us a lot to think about in the upcoming days. And thank you most importantly for your time. And with this, I would now request Architect Mohan BR, Chairman of the IIA Karnataka Chapter and the convener of the PDP program, to now address the gathering and deliver the welcome note.
Thank you, Shreya. Good morning to you all. Distinguished speakers, Dr. Habib Khanji, Architect Habib Khanji, President, Council of Architecture, Dr. Shaila, Director of BMS School of Architecture, fellow architects, academicians, and all participants. I welcome to the very first collaborative event between an institution like BMS and IAA Karnataka Chapter. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, many aspects of our lives have turned into a virtual mode. We are dependent on technological innovations. New emerging technologies are increasingly playing a significant role. And all our 10 sessions, which are carefully chosen, and moreover, as the name of the program itself suggests, emerging technologies, it is going to be the future, not only for the construction industry, but architecture too. And it's very important we equip ourselves with new technologies so that we are not left behind. Dear friends, it is my privilege to be here amongst all of you. I'm sure in time to come, many colleges will emulate this kind of collaboration to bring the academicians, professions, and students together. This kind of collaborative events are very much necessary for not only to the students, but for us academicians and professions too. This is more like a continuous education program which COA is contemplating to introduce. It is very important to keep ourselves updated with ever-evolving knowledge, technologies, and skills. During our interaction with head of the departments and principals of various colleges earlier, we felt there was quite a big division between academicians and professionals. We architects always have a habit of blaming the institutions for not teaching enough. It is so easy for us to blame. It is important as practicing architects to take a moment and introspect a little. Have we ever reached out to institutions and offered our services to share our knowledge and experiences with the faculty and the students? How many of us spend time with the students or fresh graduates to help them when they are at crossroads? It is always a paradigm shift for the students when they graduate and start working. Though internships help a little to understand what it is like in the real world, but it is not enough. To address this, we at IAKC, under Education and Academics Committee and Young Architects Committee, are planning to introduce a certificate course, something in the lines of a finishing school, to help the young graduates to learn other aspects of profession, which neither school teaches nor the officers teach. I hope many institutions will come forward and join hands with IAA. Please remember, IAA is not only for practicing architects, it is for academicians and students too. Let us together bridge this gap. Probably not many know IAA has institutional memberships and student memberships. I request all heads of the institution to get institution membership and get the students enrolled as student members. And also I would urge the faculty to become IAA members to strengthen the fraternity. On behalf of the Indian Institute of Architects Karnataka Chapter, I welcome all the eminent speakers and participants for this 1 week of knowledge sharing. I'm sure this will be a great week with all your active participation. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Shaila, Professor Shashank, Assistant Professor Ranjan, Professor Shreya, and Harish, who is also part of Young Architects Committee of IAKC, and the entire team of BMS School of Architecture, and our own Education and Academics, Events and Young Architects Committee, and all other executive members for putting this together. I'm a hope that everybody will emerge with the new knowledge in this 1 week. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohan sir, for throwing light upon the wonderful and the effective initiatives that IIA Karnataka chapter is taking up. And also thank you to all the members of the IIA team who have been constantly supporting us. And we really look forward towards working with you all. And with that, I would like to now welcome Dr. Shaila Bantanur, Director, BMS School of Architecture and the convener of this PDP program, to now address the gathering. Thank you so much.
First of all, Architect Habib Khan, President, Council of Architecture. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and being a part of this inaugural session, which is the first initiative with IIA Karnataka Chapter. BMS School of Architecture is going to have a really great program from today onwards. And a warm welcome to BMS School of Architecture and in collaboration with even IIA Chapter, Karnataka Chapter. And also I welcome Architect Mohan Pia, Chairman IIA Karnataka Chapter, faculty members from various architecture schools, practicing architects, and my dear students. A warm welcome to this program again. The pioneers of the Renaissance movement believe that we are, to a large extent, shaped by the character of the buildings around us. The values that they stand for, that they exhibit, are ultimately what the society imbibes within its culture. In a country like India, so rich and diverse, multiculturalism and identity mold one another. Our cultural identity is shaped by the traditional influences, both tangible and intangible expressions at various junctures of the society. Our architectural heritage stands as testimony to the traditional knowledge systems developed by our ancestors. Every period in the timeline had its own cultural perception that met the needs of the temporal context. Evaluating the contemporary sphere that we practice in the ever-evolving requirements and limitations motivate us to understand vernacular practices to comprehend the contextual response. The 21st century brings before us opportunities and demands that need a response befitting our times. The incremental demands, resource optimization, social consciousness, and global interdependencies have made it essential to equip ourselves with measures to embrace emerging digital technologies that offer architects radically new possibilities for designing and building. Innovation is a development that people find useful and meaningful. To be innovative, architects and the works of architecture themselves must become more responsive to their users and environments. In other words, they must incorporate feedback from their physical and contextual context, rather than relying solely on conventional analytical and internal processes of development, from design to construction. Many in the profession are finding it difficult to leave behind the security blanket of past working traditions, while a few are simply choosing to pull it resolutely over their heads. To avoid obsolescence, architects need to increase demand for their skills by embracing emerging technologies that both stimulate and satiate consumer desires. For savvy architects with a dash of fortitude, revolutionary opportunities for creating enhanced predictability, complexity, branding, feedback, and economies of a scale of glimmer on the horizon. Lacking at the start of the 20th century was the information needed to effect real change in the way we build. Tools to represent and transfer information instantly and completely are with us today. They allow connections among research, design, depiction, and making that have not existed since specialization began during the Renaissance. What appears certain is that enhanced business success for architects will depend on weaving the technologies explored here into the making of more desirable and functional environments for an evolving populace experiencing tremendous technological, cultural, and environmental change. Who is better suited for this task than those who envision futures and coordinate innumerable specialists already? With this, whatever the sir also is mentioned in the today inaugural session, that the present need is required to understand what is future, and to keep it in mind, we had a lot of discussions amongst ourselves. What has to be the theme of the program? Who should be the author? Who should be the speaker? Considering all this into mind, almost 15 days of continuous rigorous exercises, the professional development program, this is planned, and it is jointly now inaugurating today with IIA Karnataka Chapter and BMS School of Architecture, formulated with this keeping in mind. Skill development relies heavily on the awareness. The speakers, which we can see here in this program, who will be gracing this gathering for forerunners of this paradigm shift that our industry is undergoing. From discussions on using the drones for site surveys, AI in the spatial design, IoT for smart buildings, and 3D printing of building component, all delivered by the pioneers in the industry such as Dr. Manu Santanam from IIT Madras, Dr. Shrikant Gabale from University of Surrey, Dr. Gabale, who is from Unity's Geospatial Pune, and architect Joy Mandal, who is V Research Lab, Delhi. We'll also be deep diving into the topics such as the role of robotics, BIM, modular construction, virtual and augmented reality in architecture, construction and design with perspectives from the field of the speakers like architect Aldo Solazo from Spain, architect Srinath Tandoor from SBA Architect Bangalore, Dr. Christoph Corolla from Hong Kong, Amit Barde from L&T, and Chidanand G from Kiotech Private Limited. Hoping this program effectively addresses the collective curiosity of the attendees and participants alike, adding to the larger discourse of learning as a part of practice. Looking forward to the thought-provoking presentations and discussions which will open this world of promising avenues of emerging technology to the larger architectural community. With this few words, I would like to end my words here, sir, and also what architect Habib has suggested us, all the program, all the proceedings will be shared with you once the program is done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we all, I think, really look forward towards the engaging discussions that will ensue in this entire program, because the kind of speakers we have and even the participants, I mean, the variety that we have, it is only going to just get more informative. And I think the what's different about this PDP is that the practical implications of these discussions are going to be the biggest takeaways for all the participants. So thank you so much, ma'am. And with this, we have come to an end to the inaugural function. And soon we will be beginning with the technical session today. But before that, we have a few rules and regulations which we would like to share. And I would humbly thank all the dignitaries for their time who've joined us right now. So thank you very much. And we will soon be starting the technical session. Thank you. Right. So a few rules that all the participants should keep in mind would be that we request you humbly to kindly turn off your video and audio while the session is going on. You will be given time during the Q&A section. There is a Q&A box which you can see in your panel. Please enter all your questions throughout the session over there. We will definitely try our best to answer all your queries. And we humbly request you to not interrupt any session in between. You will also be allowed to raise your hand during the Q&A session. Thank you very much for that. And most importantly, there will be a feedback form which will be shared after the end of every session. Definitely fill that and let us know about how you experienced each and every session. Now, moving on to the first session of the day, which is drones for surveillance, supervision, and site survey, which will be presented by Dr. Shrikant Gabale. Dr. Gabale has a PhD in urban geomorphology, who is currently the director in Unity Geospatial LLP. He has over a decade of expertise in the fields of GIS, remote sensing, urban geomorphology, UAV drone mapping, and data processing. His knowledge is applicable to urban planning, building services management, environmental assessment, amongst others. He has been associated with the Center for Human Development, Research and Documentation Center and State Institute for Urban Development, where he has trained over 3,000 government officials. He is associated with various civil engineering and architecture colleges, where he is a mentor and a visiting faculty. He is continuously engaging with field professionals, academics, and students alike. Thank you so much, Dr. Shrikant, for joining. And now I would like to invite you to take over this entire session. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect Shreya ma'am. Architect Habib Khan, President CAO, Architect Mohan BR, Chairman EIA, Karnataka Chapter, Dr. Shaila, Director BMS, Professor Shashank, and participants, students, and dignitaries. First of all, I thank to all, especially Professor Shashank, inviting me to conduct this session. Yeah, I'm odd man out actually, very frankly speaking. I'm not an architect. I'm professionally, GIS and remote sensing expert, we can say. But last couple of years, more than 10 years, I'm working in GIS and remote sensing and associated with various architects, and colleges, students. We're working on most of the infrastructure projects. So a drone is one of the new technique we can say, used especially for topographical analysis and structural audit, we can say. And now in this particular session, I will try to concentrate on how can you use drone technology in building management, even architectural designing and topographical analysis, especially geomorphological perspective. Okay, so let me share the screen and hope everyone will enjoy this session. For surveillance, supervision, and site survey. So we all are totally depending on traditional survey techniques like printable survey, total station. Even now we are trying to shift on DGPS. There is another one survey technique. But here UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle drone, is one of the important, we can say, technique as far as the survey is concerned. Okay, so under Unity group, this Unity Geospatial is a part of Unity group. We have Unity Knowledge, Unity iWord, Unity Motion Picture, Unity MEK. These all are our companies associated in one Unity group. So especially when you're dealing with the UAV survey, it's directly connected with the geospatial applications, environmental services, infrastructure development, geospatial services, and product development, because all the data is connected with the topographical analysis. And if you want to analyze any kind of topography, so we all need to do a survey. Okay, and for any kind of survey, definitely drone is one of the important aspects in current scenario. Yeah, so under the UAV services, major sectors we can easily connect. Not only we are trying to concentrate on architects, but see, when you're dealing with the architectural services, stormwater management, encroachment in water bodies, water supply, as far as the water sector is concerned, is very important. We can use the drones. Even any kind of inspection and monitoring, especially for cement plants, oil and gas plants, port area, you can use the drone. And as far as the environment sector is concerned, see, dam and reservoir analysis is one of the important part, especially with dealing with landscape designing. Okay, if you want to know the most insights in your landscape, so definitely try to use the drone, because when you analyze the drone data, see, the precision level is almost 5 centimeter. Resolution is 5 centimeter. See, another one important aspect is when you're dealing with the surveying part with traditional, instruments, the human interference is huge. But in drone survey, we are totally depending on the one single instrument with accuracy of 5 centimeter. It means the pixel size of any kind of image is getting 5 centimeter accuracy. And if you have this kind of accuracy, so we identify each and every tree, even rocks, anything, even borders, no displays, any dispute in border sharing and anything. So yes, for analysis, not only topographical, but hydraulical analysis, stream networks, watershed management, cross sections, L section, longitudinal profiles, view shed analysis. So you can use drone data to understand the entire topography. And that's why under the environmental sector, so environment conservation, even monitoring, you can use this kind of data. And forest and wildlife, this particular area also, they're using the drone for surveillance purpose and monitoring, planning, any kind of identification. And there is another one important aspect is the mining sector. Actually, the mining area, mining, division, they're using the drone data for volumetric analysis, stock field management, and emergency responses. Even you all are architects require the volume cut and fill analysis. Okay, when you're dealing with the plot marking, any kind of planning of plot sailing. So at that time, if you want to build any retaining walls, so how much volume of sand we need to remove or cut and fill. So at that time, you can use the drone data, but on different softwares like GIS software. So all open source softwares are available and paid softwares are available. Okay. And another one, infrastructure and construction, road, railway, township, plot analysis. This is important aspect we can say as far as the drone services is concerned. So now let's jump on our main point. It's a drone in construction, just a beginning actually. See, we know we are dealing with a small space, but our work volume is high. Okay. And if you want to control on the entire working volume, so we need something, not require any manual interference. We require some automated interference with surveillance purpose, survey purpose, and anything. So UAV is one of the important aspects. For example, some of the significance and advantages incorporating UAV technology, which includes different kind of phases as far as the planning phase is concerned. We can reduce the process and analysis time. That's very important because every time it's not possible to engage each and every human resource. Within using one single instrument, you can concentrate on all the aspects in that particular field to reduce the risk and repetition and resulting in lower costs. That's important actually, because see, we all are dealing with the risk actually, and if you're dealing the risk, so you need to understand that all the aspects, all the disaster management related aspects, your objectives of that particular field, and absolutely final output. So if you want to achieve the output without any destruction, so definitely we need to depend on some of the technologies. So new tools. So UAV is one of the major tools we can say. Precise digital data to allow for more accurate readings. I just mentioned with the help of UAV data, we are dealing with the 5 centimeter accuracy. Precision level is 5 centimeter. It means that you are trying to map each and every tree, rocks, any human movement, instrumental movement, anything. That's important right now. And easy, globally accessible via cloud-based integration. And just architect Habib Khan sir has already mentioned, we all need to start our working through cloud data. So even with the help of drone, whatever data we are capturing through the drone, we can upload on cloud and we can integrate and convert in any format, like for BIM purpose, point cloud purpose, and even we can convert in AutoCAD, .SHP files. So that's the important aspect. The file conversion, data movement, that this is also possible in this particular exercise. So similar job site process monitoring can monitor directly live footage with via video or images. Okay, and especially drones have impacted the construction industry by various aspects actually. Better construction site monitoring, this is one of the aspects. And next one, calculate stockpile volume and material types for inventory. Just mention cut and fill volume. Okay, every time is not possible to just measure the area via a traditional survey method. With the help of this particular imagery through drone, you can easily access and identify the total single volume analysis. Okay, cut and fills. So easily we can track the all records. Then calculating length, width, elevation for roads and structures. This is also possible here. No need to depend on any scale based. See, even in AutoCAD and other softwares, we are trying to set the scale, but here we are directly dealing with the satellite data. Okay, GPS, global positioning system, and each and every image received from drone data is a georeference. If georeference, it means that it's directly connected with the global positioning system. Okay, so now it's a generally you can use this data on our Google Earth platform, even any GIS software. Okay, that's the important. And some of the annotating the images and maps, some easier communication, that's important, because again, if you have a proper maps in visual format, so representation will be fine. Okay, and you can share all the data with your client, with your students, whatever, but communication will be accessible. This is fine. Okay, so calculating overburden to plan for efficient removal. So all the aspects in one frame, that's the key of this particular data acquisition through the drone data. So for example, this is one of the example in Pune city near to Baner area. So see this is just a 3D. It's not just one photograph. There are multiple photographs captured through drones, and it's superimposed and mosaic on a GIS platform, created a point cloud and ortho image. This is actual ortho image with DTM, digital terrain model. So just if you want to understand more details, so just note down these two words, very important: digital terrain model, and second is the ortho mosaic image, just like a satellite image like Google Earth. Okay, the aerial survey, aerial photogrammetry, this is under the aerial photogrammetry. So 3D, 2D, all the aspect we can easily identify. This is one of the footage after the analysis, all the buildings details, even we can measure rooftop, total area, structures, even width. Only one issue with the drone, it's not possible to capture the tree girth area. Okay, because of the it's not a point cloud like a LiDAR. So LiDAR technology is totally different one, but the UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle database, is totally different one. Okay, so now after capturing the data, we can digitize on GIS platform, or even if you have properly scaled the database image, ortho image, so you can digitize on your AutoCAD also. So output will like this: all the tree covers, the structures, roads and everything. This is conversion from raster data to vector data. So vector data creation is possible through this particular platform. Now, for example, see, it's not just one single photography or not just a video creation. After acquiring thousands of images, hundreds of images, you just need to process all the images. I will show you one just example, how to set a drone flying area, even how to set the precision levels, drone flying height and everything, and then see the output. Okay, it's a 3D output. We can measure the total length of that particular bus. Okay, 10 meter, for example. So likewise, it's not just capturing one single image. We can capture the entire city. Okay, entire area. So that's the beauty of this particular output. So now the drone data is connected with the GIS platform. I just wanted to share one note on GIS actually. See, when you're dealing with the geographical information system, it means that we are capturing the digital information from any but a vector database or raster database. Okay, and everything is connected with different whys: what, when, how, why, and absolutely the word is connected with the where. Okay, and where is dealing with the GPS location. We all are using GIS technology in our daily life. You're using Swiggy, even Uber, Ola, you are using Google Maps. So it's all our GIS technique. So geographically informed system is connected with the different kind of words like location, distribution, association, interaction, and change. And if we know the proper location, so we need to just fly the drone. will capture the entire data. You can identify the distribution of that particular area, any association with apps per your objective, and you can interact your data with your proper set objects and based on the change and everything. So this is the foolproof connection with the drone data and GIS platform. Okay. Now, before jumping on the next slide, I would like to share one part. For example, if you want to set the drone flying path, so this is one of the application is a drone deploy. For example, I need to capture this particular area. So here, see my flying height. I have set the area.
Excuse me, Dr. Gabale, it's not visible. Could you just check?
Sorry, just a second.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Actually, at a time, only one screen is sharing here. Okay. Now it's a visible?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. So, for example, this is area. I need to capture this particular area using the drone. Okay. So my flying height I have set at up to 60 meters as per DGCA norms. It's not allowed to fly more than 200 meters in India. So if you want to fly, you need to take a permission. Even if you want to fly in any public area, you need to take a permission. Okay. It's not allowed to fly near to any airport location. Yeah. So see, my accuracy is 1.4 centimeter per pixel. That's the important aspect part. And for this particular area, 5 hectare area, I'm capturing 168 images. Okay. If you want to click a 3D, see my path will be different one, and images, almost 420 images. So before flying path, I will start my flying from this particular location to like this and will end here only. Okay. So after this, flying mechanism is completed. So we'll receive different kind of data. So now I will share this again screen with. Yeah. See, you can check the images like this. Okay. So all images I have captured here. Hope this is visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
I don't want to, bore anyone here because I want to interact with all the examples. See I capture each and every image. Okay, I can just zoom this and check. Even can identify the high tension lines, single boulders, tree locations with their shadows. Okay, so likewise, my accuracy is 1.5 centimeter here with this particular data. Even you can check these small things, vehicle and everything. Okay. Now the main part after acquiring the output of this particular exercise is different one. See, all the images here, almost 143 cameras photographs imported. Okay. And first of all, when you need to identify or analyze your data, so import all the images here, and in first step, tie point will create almost more than 1 lakh type points I have created. It's a point cloud data, we can say. See the dense cloud, and dense cloud is more than we can 2 crores, we can say, created. See the output. You can use this output for virtual reality related analysis and anything. That's the beauty. Even for 3D analysis, as per your requirement, as per your data format. And then digital elevation model, DEM. See the DEM. Okay. So my minimum height in this particular area is 536 meter and maximum is 554 meter. This is the output from this particular location. Okay. See the output. And then another one important aspect is orthomosaic. This called as a DEM or DTM, digital terrain model. Just note down, just understand this one. And then ortho image. See the output with the ortho image. Whatever data we have captured through drone, and it will look like this after attaching all the images. See the database, see the output. Okay, if you want to measure this way, so you can easily measure. See, total 9 meter, 9.09 meter. Okay, so likewise, you can check each and every location. See, vehicle movements, total circle area, number of trees, high tension line locations. Okay, so for designing purpose, I will recommend to use drone data just for this kind of output. And now the next, if you want to see all the data in a 3D format, okay, so just look, check this one. This is different site, but for your understanding, see the study. I will share this screen afterward. Now, let's jump on our presentation. Okay. So data acquisition, we know how to acquire the data, and data processing and data visualization. So next one is our equipment tracking using the drone, okay, and automation. So here drone can track all the equipments for each and every location at the job site, and we can record all the errors and malfunctions. See, that's important actually when you're working on large scale of site. And in the future, drone will use to direct and guide construction vehicles using artificial intelligence. And I'm thankful to BMS college, you organize this particular very important session and a lecture series, because everything is connected with all the technologies. Okay, it's not like we need to depend on only drone. Drone is connected with the AI, machine learning, and everything. So next one is after equipment tracking. So remote monitoring and progress report identification, that's also important as far as the drone is concerned. So drones have improved collaborations by 65% by capturing real-time data and photos, providing process reports. Okay, you can connect your live or data acquisition through your YouTube, even any kind of video, even Zoom also. I have personally conducted most of the session directly connected to Zoom sessions while flying the drone. Okay, so then security surveillance. This is another one important aspect. You don't check the security storage and equipment and detect unauthorized, individuals to improve job site security. That's another important part. Even without any interference, you can fly drone in any season. Only if you want to fly in a rainy season, so you need to use such kind of drones. And if you want to fly drone in a night vision, so night vision cameras required. And in regular basis, you can use the RGB cameras, regular cameras like Sony and anything. But if you want to identify the, heat-based analysis, any cracks, leakage, at that time, you can use the different cameras like high perspective cameras with the band values are more than 12 and 120 bands. Right now, with the help of RGB, you're using only 3 bands, green, red, and blue bands. And after using these 3 colors, using these 3 colors, you can create multiple images, okay? Multiple data analysis. So now personal safety, this is also important. And most of the time for the, if you want to calculate the any particular height, that particular building, so you can use the drone. Even for the visualization purpose, view shed analysis, you can use the drone. If you want to, share actual real visibilities from, for example, 110th floor or from 11th floor, how it will look. So just try to use the drone and you can capture the videos. And after capturing the video, just share with the client. So client will happy. Yes, this is the view I actually required. And then it's easy to buy the flat by the client. Okay. So that's important part. Then another one aspect as far as the drone is concerned, how construction companies are benefiting from the drone and aerial data. Okay. See, each and every industry, especially as far as the construction industry is concerned, we need to understand the pre-construction phases. Okay. Improve speed and quality, the design process, that's very important. Then capture high resolution videos and images, and we can convert in the 3D building platform. Okay. It's not like just capturing the images or videos. After capturing the images, we know how to, I just shared how to process the data on different softwares to use this kind of technology. And then we can create the digital terrain model to understand the contours. If you know the contours with 1 meter interval, 0.5 interval, 2 meter interval, 5 meter interval. So it will be, easily identify. It will easily identify the actual topography. Okay, in 2D perspective, 3D perspective. Then high resolution ortho image. I just mentioned the high resolution ortho image. You can easily identify the total, width, length, and everything. And you can facilitating the all the studies like environment impact assessment analysis for this particular location. Then actually in construction phase, real-time monitoring and comparison with the planned schedule. That's important. See, most of the time what happened, you have planned, you have scheduled, but at the same time, it's very hard to follow all the plans. But using the drone technology, definitely you can identify, monitor, and we can direct our entire plan as per our schedule. Okay. Then assessment of project boundaries and encroachment, if any. See, again, with the traditional survey techniques, it's human interference is there. Okay. It's very difficult to point out the exact boundary area. It's very point out to identify the, various differences. So with the help of drone, you can visualize the data in ortho file format and identify the pinpoint locations. Okay. So that's why it's easy to, control on encroachment. On facilitating the investors with swift access to complex data. Definitely, it's not in such kind of pandemic, situation. Every time is not possible to visit the site inside, but you can share all the data, visuals through drone. You need to just capture the videos and images, just process the image and share with your client in a 2D, 3D format. Everyone is then updated. So accurate data gathering, that's the important part as far as the construction phase is concerned. And don't further increase the safety by providing, we already discussed in last couple of slides. So post-construction, this is in the third phase, final work assessment, environmental impact verification and reporting, and use for maintenance and marketing purpose. So already most of the architects, you're using this drone technology for a marketing purpose. Okay, but I will recommend to use for actual topographical analysis and pre-phase and post-phase and actual construction phase scenario. So now this is one of the example. See the one particular building footprint, and I need to map this entire building. So this is very easy to calculate or map all the aspects in that particular location. So see, after point cloud creation, it will look like this. Okay, with the help of drone data, almost more, you can say 50-60 images we have captured in that particular location and just superimposed and processed with our softwares. Its output will like this. So this is one example. Now come to the second. After creating the point cloud data, you can use this entire database in your BIM portal, Revit, using a Revit, and as per your requirement, you can set the color and position and everything, or just a visualization and a presentation purpose. Okay, so here you can use the point cloud data in your Revit platform, and all the aspects for the BIM is concerned. So you can use this thing. Then come to the important and aspect is the topographical mapping and land surveying. Okay, so we just identify, visualize how you need to set the drone flying path, and after capturing the multiple images, you can use in you need to process all the images in drone software like AGS of Pixpody and anything. And after this completion, entire data acquisition, you can generate the digital terrain model ortho images, okay, for the further analysis. See, this is one of the example. For example, if you want to cover the approximate 1 square kilometer area or 1 hectare, 10 hectare, 100 hectare, whatever, pixel size, the resolution is up to 2.2 to 5 centimeter, and my camera sensor is 20 megapixels we are using right now. And one important part, while flying the drone, overlapping is, as far as the forward overlap is concerned, 80% required, and side overlap 70% is required. So then we'll get the accurate and absolute fine data. Okay, so here see the data output from one single drone flying, digital terrain model, contour maps, then georeference images, view shed analysis, even 3D models, then stream network, L sections, watershed, volume calculation. So multiple database creation is possible within one single fly. Okay, so this is one part. The contour, typical contour data. See, 3D model. This is one of the beautiful location in Pune, near to Pankar Club, the building location. And for the visualization purpose, we can visualize the entire city. Cross section also possible. Total length, even minimum value, maximum. We'll share this one right now in a second. Yeah. See, this is one of the site in Pune location, and we have captured for the plotting purpose. Okay, with one of the architect. So see here, if you want to create the cross sections and anything, you just need to use this data. This particular location data is like ortho data. Now just click and right click, see the output, cross section. Okay, the cross section, it's here with all details, minimum height and maximum height, total data. Okay, and you can use this like here also. See, this particular location, this particular area, you can easily identify. See, okay, actual dam site, and ortho image, and then watershed also possible here. It's not like ortho image, but see the watersheds also here, different watersheds. Then stream networks. Okay, if you want to analyze your plotting, so you have to understand the topography. You all know that, especially when you're dealing with the plotting purpose. So then some of the we have designed the proposed road for climbing towards this particular location. See the minimum height and maximum height, proposed points, franks, road franks, and your data. So likewise, before understanding and planning any kind of plots, your design, so topographical understanding is possible with the help of drone data. This is one single example for your purpose. Now, yeah, I'll share this screen again. Yes. In stream network, okay, first order stream, second order. Hope everyone know the Straller method. You can start from first order, second order, third order, and entire tree of that particular water body. Okay, so you can identify the minimum height, maximum height for understanding purpose. Then sub watershed areas in that location with ortho image for the more understanding. And very important, cut and fill volume. Okay, I will give you one single demo as per the cut and fill volume is concerned. See, with the help of this particular data, we can identify the cut volume area, cut 2D surface area, cut 3D surface area, even fill volume area, fill 2D, fill 3D surface area, and we can assign the break even height also. So from this particular height, whatever data or whatever material included in that particular position, so we can acquire or identify. Okay, so for that purpose, cut and fill volume calculation, especially when you're dealing with the any retaining wall construction or plotting purpose, so use this particular tool. Okay, so I will now again shift on demo slide. Sorry, actually every time I need to stop the screen and I don't know what exactly is this. It's not sharing all the screens at a time.
No, sir, please take your time because it's very interesting.
Yeah, thank you. So now let's check. If you want to, this is your plot number A, okay? And if you want to build one road here, and before that you need to understand the actual cross section and everything. You just use this kind of tool, cross section. Okay, hope you receive the data here. Minimum height is almost 630 meter and maximum 640 for this particular location. Not I'm started from here, only for this particular location. So now I want to assign or identify the plot area here. So first of all, you just mark the one single boundary like this. Okay, and right click. Okay, this is my location, and now I want to convert in the, oh sorry, just a second. Yeah. See, this is actually shades as per the topographical details. Okay, you can easily check this small depression here in this particular area, and this is actually showing the higher area. Okay, but if you want to check the again aisle section, so let's check like this. See, that small depression is here, higher position, lower position. Now let's jump on our actual cut and fill data analysis. Advanced, calculate flattened site pan, and here they're asking me the fixed height to the flatten. See here again, you can check after moving the cursor, right side of the bottom, you can identify the height here. See height 678 like this. So I want to cut the entire site up to 645 or 55. Okay, so just right click, advance, calculate 645. Okay, and just okay, click okay. So within some seconds, we'll get the actual cut and fill volume of that particular location. See output. Okay, cut volume 14337 cubic meter. But 2D surface area 5512 square meter, and 3D surface area 7123 square meter. And again, fill volume in cubic meter. So the measurement have also been copied to clipboard. We can copy the entire data and just click OK. So after this, see the output. Okay, now we'll check this entire exercise in 3D platform. Okay, in 3D. So you can visualize this platform in a 3D. Hope everyone is visualize this 3D data. Otherwise, I will share screen. Check this. (3D) window is visualized. Professor Shreya?
Yes, sir. We do see the 3D image.
Okay. Actually, I am moving this.
Yeah, we can see the movement as well. Yes, sir.
Great. Okay. Thanks. So see the movement. It's like this. Okay. So total area. Okay. I'm going to fill this particular area, and based on my position, my retaining wall will be here. Okay. So likewise, this is one small exercise just for the visualize purpose. So like this, we can define and identify all the movements based on the acquired data from the UAV. Okay, from the drone. The next one, the next important exercise is like your watersheds area and stream networks. See, after this, I can easily identify the which area having the highest stream network as per as the plot A concern, plot B concern, and plot C concern. Okay, so even in 3D visualization, can check the output. Okay, likewise, I will show a different image right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Is it visualized 3D screen?
Yes, sir.
So see, okay, if you want to reduce the okay.
So the image is static.
Just a second.
Yes.
I will share again.
Sure.
Yeah. See, this is one bungalow plot. Okay, with ortho image. Okay, actual plot width and total area. Okay, with tree cover. Okay, and if you want to design your entire building here only, so first of all you need to capture the entire image to drone, and output feel like this. It's not like only we are depending on orthomosaic image. See the output in DEM or DTM data. Okay, can easily check the smaller depression areas, some of the reels, depressions, higher height, minimum height, maximum height, this particular location. And now let's jump on 3D database. So see the 3D. Okay. You can visualize before starting planning your designs. At least you can understand the topography without going on site. Okay. If you don't have time, okay, to visit the site, just send drone person and capture the data. And after processing the data, let's check this database in your software. So you can easily identify the, yes, this is my site. There's some small depressions here, clip-like structures here, you know, high-end lines, some of the plane sections, okay, roads movement. You can calculate the total road area, total road width, okay, total location base. And now, if you want to check the streams and anything, that particular location, so let's superimpose your stream network. So see the output, okay, it's very in rainy season we'll get, as for any particular storm water related analysis, so use this kind of tools, so we'll get most of the ideas. And for any landscape designing related aspect, so again you can use this kind of technology. Okay, so see, this is the output from the drone data. Now let's jump on our next session. Okay. My slide is visible, or
So we're still on the screen
okay.
of the mapper.
Okay. Okay. See, again, if you want to work on a large area, like any township designing and township planning, so we all right now depending on the Google Earth. Okay, if we have CAD files, so we are trying to convert in KML files, and after if you got the KML files, see, you're just superimposing on your database. But see the difference between drone data and actual Google Earth image. Okay, in Google Earth you will get that 5 to 10 meter accuracy. Okay, how much? 5 to 10 meter. This is not good to plan. Okay, but with the help of drone, we'll getting almost 5 centimeter accuracy. For dam designing, feasibility study, see, you can identify all the contours, then total volume area, actual dam position, dam width and everything, bad wall, then road infrastructure. This is another one important part where we can use the drone. This is one of the example. Drone data will capture, and we can convert data in a point cloud data. It will look like this, especially for a planning purpose. So after plan, point cloud data, such kind of database we can generate to visualize. So here easily we can work on curtain fill volume, stream network. We need to use the culverts, box culvert, pipe culvert, whatever. Then total, watershed area, number of streams, total width, even total length of that particular stream, all morphometric parameters. So likewise, you can use, and again, you can compare your database, your existing Google Earth structure. For example, the location in on Google Earth in 2013, and right now it's look like this. Okay, after finalizing the your work, okay, your Google Earth will look, it's showing image with blur. Okay, 10 centimeter, 10 meter, 15 meter, but here drone will get with high resolution data. Okay, So see, then if you want to construct new road, design the new roads, you can use the drone data is the output. Okay, existing very simple structure. Then all the existing road details like high tension lines, even electrical poles, manholes, storm drain locations, central lines, all the footpath and everything. You can use the drone data to presentation also. This is also and junction improvement. Just share the demo at this particular location with the output with high magnitude. Then okay, now let's discuss on road alignment. Road if you want to design road in any hilly area, so you can use the drone data. So again, I just shared one screen for the demo purpose. Okay, see, I know this is actually area where existing road is here, and we need to build new road to reach at our plot location. So it's very difficult to identify the actual road movement. So again, you can use the cross sections fall apart, second different kind of plot locations and everything. And now come to the actual proposed road area. See, we have proposed road with this particular based on the steep slope and area available in our custody, because this particular area is not available in our custody. For example, we just have this particular area. This is our boundary. It's very difficult to go beyond this, only up to this one. But as per the all your planning norms and your technical aspects, so you can easily identify the new roads. Just a second, sorry. Okay. Then propose point after each and every 100 meter. So you can check cross section after 100 meter. Like this. To identify the exact position of that particular location, you can check the ground situation. Okay, if you want to climb up to here, next 100 meter, see the position, there is some depression here. Okay, likewise you can plan or identify the details or the plot parcels. Road flank. Yeah. See the output up to this particular location if you want to reach your plot. Okay. Okay. Total L section area, and we have flight our drone in Bhutan to survey the entire breach in Thimphu location. Basically, we have used the ortho image and 3D images to identify the topography. Then structure inspection and photography. This is another important aspect as far as the construction is concerned. So again, we have completed one project in Chandrapur area, cement plant, to inspect all the stack fields. Okay. And we have captured videos footages up to 5 to 6 lakhs square foot project site. The one single image. This is video imagery. Every time is not possible to climb at that site and station. Can check this. Okay, so or if any crack, any disturbance, or anything related to the disaster prone, we can easily identify. Each and every stack has monitored or inspected through drone instrument. It's very challenging to climb, and within one day we have finished entire site survey. Within one day. For this particular stack, we required, if you want to inspect individually, it will take 2 to 3 hours. Okay, but with the help of drone, within 50 minutes, we have captured all the data. So time consumption, security, disaster related aspects, all aspects. Okay, so this is one part. Then if you want, this is just for additional services we can propose. CCTV location view in any particular your site. If you want to identify the CCTV location, so see if you put your CCTV at the 6 meter above ground level, so it will cover 50% in that particular location. But if you increase the up to 9 meter, this is one of the example. So percentage visibility is almost 63%. Okay. So likewise, you can use the drone data and utility management. This is an important part. Street light identification, even manhole location, even storm water drainage management, electrical pole identification, then underground utility. We all right now, when you're dealing with the redevelopment projects, so this is one of the challenging part is the underground utility. With the drone, it's not possible to identify the underground utility, but yes, after acquiring the data through the GPR, ground penetrating radars instruments, so you can superimpose all the data on your high resolution database. So after that, see the output. Okay, you can easily identify again manhole lines, telephone lines, street line, even any gas pipeline, all database. So based on this analysis, I have finished the session. Hope everyone has enjoyed the session. If anyone have any query, so please let me please ask. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shrikant sir. We are
just my best.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Shala ma'am, your
Dr. Shasha, very nice presentation. It was actually need for us, especially when we go for urban design. We have urban design program in our school, especially even in some of the UG program. Also, we have so many design studio exercises which required all these kind of analysis. And unfortunately, if we don't get the exact details, and then the end product will not be that effective. So it's a really wonderful presentation and very informative. But I had two questions, very simple questions, basic questions, you can say. One is when you use this drone, what will be the height of the drone? Like, how do you specify the height of the drone so that you will get the accurate data? So that's the one question. The second one is like, what kind of permissions you will be requiring, because in terms of safety and security, and then because now recently in even Srinagar happened the same thing, in terms of security wise, how who can use these drones, and if at all, if we want to use it, and what are the limitations, and where all we need to take the permissions, what are the organizations which are connected to it?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. It's very important question actually. If you want to fly the drone, we need to take a permit. Earlier, just 6 months before, if you want to fly the drone, you need to take a permission from a defense, nearby defense location, even airport authority, and police station. But right now, your location is not near to airport. far away from urban area. So it's not required take a permission from police department. But in city area, in a high crowded area, so you require take a permission from police department. It's a very simple provision. You need to first of all, your drone need to register under the DigiSky portal. Okay, and we need to submit all the documents related to your portal. I have personally completed my training program from Northeast Space Application Center, Government of India's Space Department. Done. And if you have the such kind of certification, so you need to submit the certification. I'm not using my drone for a photography. I'm not using my drone for any marriage ceremony. Only I'm using my drone for the topographical analysis. So such in India, actually, there is some limitation to fly the drone as far as the height is concerned. If you want to fly drone, so height limitation is it's not more than 200 meters. But if we require high resolution database, so you require to fly drone up to 60 meters. Okay. Now we'll check one single exercise on screen. This location having 60 meter height by drone flight. Okay. And you can check the resolution 1.4 centimeter. Now I'm increasing height up to 100 meter. Okay. It will impact on, suggest below 60 meter. Okay. Based on this ground area, it means that if I am going to fly more than this height, it will be directly impacting on my resolution. My resolution is decreased up to 2.2 centimeter comparatively. Okay. So likewise, based on your current topographical situation, try to set the height. In a hilly region, 70 meter to 80 meter is sufficient. In city, based on the total building height, you need to set the height. Okay, so this is a simple funda. Before going to field, you need to check first in this kind of softwares. You need to check on Google Earth the total topography area, height of that location, terrain position, any high tension line is there. So if high tension line is there, so we need to fly your drone 50 meter of that particular location from high tension line for the security purpose. It may be impacting on your drone actually. Okay. Yeah, hope I have answered your question.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I open for the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Shrikant. Thank you, Shaila ma'am. So there is a question by architect Anant Swami. I would request architect Anant to unmute himself. We have given him the rights, and maybe they can ask you the question personally. Live. So if architect Anant could just unmute themselves and switch on their video.
Hello.
Hello. Very good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, Shrikant. Very good, very informative session and very important as well. Recently, we tried to contact our regular surveyor to do this drone survey. He reluctantly accepted to do that. Probably he doesn't have sufficient tools and information, knowledge maybe. But he was basically trying to say that, the accuracy will be just about less than 5 meters, etc. And then finally, we will have to do the land survey, going to the land. Now, I would like to, I think you are the right person to know more. Who are the agencies who can do this for us? We are in Bangalore.
Geospatial.
Sorry?
We are providing this kind of services.
Okay. So you are based in Pune, right?
Pune only, but we can provide our services for entire India, out of India.
Okay.
Yeah. We are the first one who fly the drone in Bhutan.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's great. So we'll contact you on this.
Please, thank you, sir.
Dr. Shrikant, we would request you to perhaps share your contact details to the other participants, perhaps. But of course, it's also available.
And this is my contact number.
Yeah.
And we'll note down my email ID here.
Right. So while you're doing that, the next question is. Yeah, the next question is by Shrikant Gabale, and if they could unmute themselves and turn on their video. They've been given the rights to do so, so if they could just do that and then ask their question to you.
Please. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Dr. Shrikant.
Hello.
This is
Good
Shrikant.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Very interesting take on the drones and the introduction of drones into construction. I have two small questions. One you have already answered about the accuracy. The second question is that what will be the timeline when drones will be also actively used in actual construction execution, like transportation of material or transportation of components and setting them, because there was this experiment which was done in ETH Zurich where there were bricklaying robots or drones which were used to build a wall. So what is according to you a rough timeline where there can be an unmanned kind of a construction possible? Because it also includes loads, no, load carrying capacities and all.
Okay. As far as the construction material movement, with the help of drone, we can just monitor the movement. It's very difficult to carry out such kind of construction material. But yes, we just there are two types of drones. Without electrical plugs, we can fly the drone with the help of batteries, and we can fly drone up to 30 minutes at a time. Okay, 25 to 30 minutes at a time.
All right.
We can directly connect with our battery, round hotel batteries.
Okay.
24 hours.
Okay.
24 hours.
So there are two aspects according to you. One is battery capacity and second is load carrying capacity, right?
Load carrying capacity.
So right now we don't have drones which carry much load, like we can carry only cameras till today, right?
Sorry to interfere, but even in India, even Amazon is trying to.
They had some experiments done. Yes.
But it's not allowed by.
I know. It was not allowed by the authority. They did some things off the record which I got to see.
There are some different aspects. If you want to fly the drone in Indian scenario, you need to know the topography, number of buildings,
right.
3D data creation is important. Then you can set the actual path.
Yes. I got it. So that sensors sensing the data to sense is not available for the drones to fly. Okay, understood. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shrikant, for your patience. There's another question by Arun Kumar about forest cover. So what if the site has dense forest cover, then what do you suggest?
Yeah, it's very interesting question. While flying drone in forest area is very difficult. You can identify the area, but if you need to go in a minor accuracy level, for example, 5 to 10 centimeters, it's very difficult to go beyond that. At that time, I will suggest use LiDAR camera, payload on drone, not RGB camera. LiDAR based camera is required while flying drone in forest area, dense forest area. Only you need to identify, general forest area with particular pockets, open land, some of the barren land, and even some of the structures. So, at that time you can use the RGB camera, but I will definitely suggest if you want each and every minute details, especially archaeological survey and even any again minute details in forest area, so try to use LiDAR only.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Light detection and radar techniques, that the
LiDAR. Yes. So I mean, we've there are case studies in Varanasi that we've heard where we've spoken about, I think, mesh and cloud mapping.
Yes.
So I think your lecture has been more like a tutorial. I mean, you kept saying that I'm not an architect and I don't know if we will relate, but to be honest, the diversity of the listeners that we have today, I'm a conservation architect, there are planners sitting right around me, then there are architects, civil engineers, everyone. So I think the way you have formulated the entire lecture, it has been very interesting to us, and we can't thank you enough for your time. And the way you have articulated it specifically for us, that was something that I think all of us really appreciate, and your time we really appreciate. So yes, so thank you so much for being with us today. And
Thank you.
anything that you would like to say to all the participants listening?
Thank you very much to all of you for your patiently listening to me, and especially thanks to Professor Shashank Chakradev sir. He has invited me to present my some of the knowledge in front of you, and hope everyone has enjoyed the session. And if you have any query, you can contact me anytime. This is my mobile number and email ID. I would like to help you with projects, even academics. I personally associated with most of the colleges. So every time is not like business point of view. So I believe in academics also and research. So thank you very much. Nice talking with you, and all the best.
Yes, thank you. You can see the chat box, it's exploding with all the congratulatory messages and gratitude that all the participants are sharing with you. So thank you again to all the dignitaries. Thank you so much, Dr. Shrikant, to IIA Karnataka, and all the dignitaries present here. We have, and also all the organizers who've been helping us, Architect Muin, and Architect Mohan, and then Shaila ma'am, and everyone else, Architect Harish and Architect Ranjan, who's sitting right here, everybody who has been here. If I have missed out someone's name, of course, Architect, Professor Shashank as well. So thank you everyone for joining us. And I hope that the first day has been, personally, it has been amazing listening to you and very informative. And the best thing is, when in your lecture, you've been giving us points to note down and then do research, to study. So thank you very much for making this such an informative session, Dr. Shrikant, and hope to have you and host you again. And yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes. So thank you very much. So for all the participants, a feedback form will be shared the minute we end this meeting, and I hope that you take the time to fill the feedback. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll be closing the meeting soon, and thank you everyone for your time and your patience. Thank you very much again, Dr. Shrikant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shrikant.